I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
Here from the 3. Streaks across the 30. He might be gone.
It's up. Gaston to the right. Oh,
they got blockers. They got blockers. They've got a lane.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Darrell Langham with the grab.
Stars intercepted. Look out. Trajan Bandy, the true freshman. We got the truth again.
Because when the U is on and the U brings it, there's nothing like it. We got to get this. And it's going to take everybody.
What's up, Saints fan? It is Thursday. You know what that means. It's time for a little opponent prep, all right? This week is Stanford. Listen, fall is in the air. I'm in New York City. The high today was 60. I got a little chicken dumpling soup happening in the crock pot. I'm feeling good, all right? Vibes are much better than they were when we recorded our main podcast that dropped on Monday, coming off a very tough loss to Louisville. Vibes are much better, all right? Things have simmered. We're looking ahead to Stanford, and everything is still in front of us. I know for those of us that have been Miami Hurricane fans for a long time, Miami Dolphin fans like myself, saying it's right there in front of us is tough. Even being a New York Yankee fan, Aaron Boone, that is one of his favorite sayings. It's all right there in front of us. But as annoying as that statement is, it is true in this instance. It is all right there in front of us. Before we dive into Stanford, just a little cleanup from this week, things that have happened since we dropped the podcast on Monday. First of all, and by the way, it's just me going solo here on this show today. No Kurt, no Jimmy. Kurt has a baby. Jimmy's in law school. I'm the only one that doesn't have a life. So it is just me right now. A little cleanup. And coming off a loss, it was a tough one, right? And first, it no longer undefeated, ACC loss, et cetera, et cetera. The way that the national media has treated Miami since this loss is utterly ridiculous. In fact, we were on Ryan McGee from ESPN. We were on his infamous bottom 10 of college football. We were in the coveted 5 spot, which he gives to the FBS team that had the biggest blunder over the weekend. Listen, it was a bad loss. We were 2 touchdown favorites. I get all that. To say that was the biggest blunder from an FBS team all weekend is insane to me. I mean, we literally saw FSU, their entire program, crumble against Stanford. Teams have been firing coaches. I don't understand how Miami losing an ACC game to a good, now ranked Louisville team is garnering all of this national attention, saying that Miami is done. I think Miami's still a very good football team, and nobody's going to go undefeated. It's almost impossible to go undefeated now in college football with the parity, with the sheer amount of games you got to play to even get to the championship. So I think everyone just needs to take a deep breath here. But as Miami fans, we're used to it. We're used to the media just putting us down the first chance they can. And to me, it's insane. No other, I mean, SEC, we've got the SEC and the ESPN pundits talking about Auburn and how great their 4 losses are. We've got them already starting the campaign for LSU. If LSU wins out, what happens? A 3-loss SEC team that they should be in because of their resume. Alabama's the best team in the country, even though they lost week 1 to a team that we're all saying is a complete joke. So I don't know what we're talking about here, but it is what it is. You know, maybe it's good for Miami to be kind of put down and out like this rather than lifted up, because we can just kind of focus on ourselves here. Go 1-0 each week, as Coach Cristobal says. Okay? The other cleanup we have coming internal for Miami, a couple things. We saw Josh Moore and Upshaw, our young wide receivers, they had posted to free them, you know, how wide receivers say, free Josh Moore, free me, basically saying, get me the ball, let me kind of cut loose. It's not great. You don't love seeing players post this, especially coming right off of a loss, but it is what it is. This is what wide receivers do. Wide receivers on losing teams and winning teams, they want the football, they want playing time. I think and I hope the coaches kind of sat them down and been like, listen, we've got our two receivers right now, they're balling out, Malachi Toney and CJ Daniels. We're still trying to figure out who is going to be that third guy to step up, but it's like Josh Moore, you've had some big catches. I would love to see Josh Moore more in this offense. I would love to see him start getting a little more burn in this offense because he showed some flashes of brilliance earlier this season. But guys, let's calm down here. Everyone's going to get their touches. We're going to figure this out on offense. I do think we do need that third guy to step up. I'm not talking about JoJo Trader anymore. I don't know what's going on with that situation, but he's obviously not in good graces with the coaches, and it's going to take a lot for him to get on the field. And if he does get on the field, can he produce? But yeah, I don't need freshmen saying, get me the ball. Like, you're going to get the ball plenty. All right. Let's everyone just take a deep breath here. We got Shannon Dawson in his interview this week. He ruffled some feathers, basically saying that that the running scheme and our offense attack, it is what it is, and it's not really going to change too much. We just have to execute better, and people did not like to hear that. I mean, what were we expecting? We know how these teams are. We know how coaches are. They are stubborn, but this is what our offense is. So I do think there is an execution standpoint to that. I do also think that it can't just be, it is what it is, let's run it up the A-gap every single time. I do think we need more zones, more outside runs, just different wrinkles to open up that log jam that teams are causing because they are going to stop the run. And then we got to execute through the air. And that was something that we did not see against Louisville. 4 interceptions. That's only if your quarterback's throwing interceptions and then they're bloating the box, you're not going to ever win on offense. You're not going to be able to move the ball. So I think in a perfect world, the way that this offense should execute is an offense that we want. We saw it earlier this season, and we were happy with it. But, yeah, the moment we start losing and not moving the ball, it becomes a very frustrating offense to watch because it's slow. It's not getting huge plays. I do think in a perfect world, this is an offense that is ahead of the chains early, ahead of the sticks. We're picking up 4 yards on first down. It's third and short a lot, and then we are able to hit a home run, hit a big play once in a while to really open things up. But against Louisville, it was early penalties. It was a lot of 1st and 15s happening, 2nd and 10s, and then before you know it, it's 3rd and long, and that's just not where this offense executes well. So we'll see. We're going to see a lot this weekend going into the Stanford game about have we added any wrinkles to this offense? Have we adjusted at all? But Shannon Dawson, obviously, it is what it is. Like, we're not going to have a new offensive playbook and a whole new scheme based off one loss. It's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. All right? Let's see if I've got any other cleanup from the week before we get into a little Stanford talk. No, I do not. Okay, so Stanford. Believe it or not, this is the first, it's probably actually pretty easy to believe, this is the first matchup between Stanford and Miami in program's history. We got them 7 o'clock, ESPN, Saturday night. It is the special unis game. I know we love hearing that. We Miami fans love special uni games, especially coming off a loss. Obvious sarcasm there. We are wearing the digital camo jerseys. I have no idea. I have no idea what they look like. I thought, isn't Veterans Month usually November? I don't know what's going on, but we're wearing them. It is what it is, all right? That's the theme of this podcast. It is what it is. So Stanford coming off of a huge win for them against FSU. I'm really glad we're not traveling out to California. I'm glad we get them at home. This is obviously Stanford's farthest travel game they will have all year. It's tough. It's tough to go coast to coast. We're seeing that when teams have to go out west, it is not easy. And listen, this is not. There's no easy way. I mean, there's no way to work around this. This is not a good Stanford football team, but this isn't Stanford from the past couple years, all right? They're 3-4 right now. Stanford, if you remember, they fired their head coach going into spring ball. Andrew Luck, who is like the GM there now, and he marches the sidelines with his big old smile. He then brought on Frank Reich to basically say, I'm going to be here for a year. I'll fill in as coach, and then we'll work on searching for a coach at the end of the season. And with Frank Reich, with what he's working with, he's done a pretty good job. I mean, we know he's a good coach with his stint in the NFL. And he's got these guys, they're at 3-4. They won 3 games all of last year. So they think now that they can make a bowl game. What worries me about games like this is they really have nothing to lose in this game. Miami has everything to lose. It's well documented now. We have to win out. All right. I'll get a little into looking around the rest of the league at the tail end of this, but the bottom line for Miami, we have to win out. I can't even think about the chaos in the ACC and how to make the ACC championship because the system is so messed up now with these giant leagues and not having divisions. The fact of how big of a tie there could be at the top without any of those teams playing each other, it makes me sick. Forget that. Just win out. You're in the college football playoff. Hopefully that means ACC championship. Maybe not. I don't know if you even want to risk playing for an ACC championship and losing that game, but whatever. We can't even worry about any of that. We just have to win every single game remaining. That's what happens when you drop one. No one picked us to go undefeated. We knew we weren't going to go undefeated, but now that we've dropped that one loss, a lot of us predicted 2 losses. I think 11-1 is what it's going to have to be. You can't lose anymore. So there's a lot riding on us for every single game. It is a playoff game every single Saturday from here on out. And that's what we got to deal with. Stanford ranks bottom of the league in almost... Well, before I get to that, I will say another big story with Stanford is, first of all, they were fined $50,000 for storming the field against FSU. It was the saddest field storm of all time if you watch it. It was really just a smattering of Stanford students kind of just slowly getting on the field, just mindlessly walking around. Just had no idea what they were doing, didn't know how to handle it. But anyways, they still got the $50,000 fine. It's if you're going to get fined $50,000, you got to do what Virginia did and just absolutely maul the field. Stanford did not do that. It was a very slow kind of students just dropping onto the field, walking around, probably thinking about what tests they had on Monday, what homework they had due the next week. So bunch of nerds over there. Anyways, so Stanford, their starting quarterback, let me get his name for us real quick as I go to my notes. Starting quarterback Ben Goldbrinson was hurt in the first half and against FSU, and he did not return. At this time, his status is unclear. So Frank Reich on Monday said that he thinks he could still go. He's not sure. Redshirt freshman Elijah Brown, who Stanford is pretty excited about as a recruit, kind of highly touted redshirt freshman. He's dealt with a few injuries himself, but he came in to replace Goldbrinson. They ran a very, very conservative playbook when he entered. A lot of just running, a lot of just trying. They felt pretty good about their defense against FSU, and so they were just working some clock. Weren't really putting Elijah Brown into too much danger. But he came in, got the win for him. I think either way, whatever quarterback plays in this game, it does favor Miami. We're talking about Miami, as much talk has been happening about our defense, about what we did against Louisville. We're the second-ranked defense in the ACC. I think our ability to get Louisville had a great game plan where it was get the ball out quick, but the defensive line is still going to be able to have pressure. I just think that this matchup favors Miami very well with whatever quarterback it is. Neither of them have been all that great. They tend to make mistakes when they're pressured, specifically Ben Goldbrinson, because we haven't seen too much of Elijah Brown, but a redshirt freshman on the road, first ever start, if that's going to be the case, that could be it's a daunting and it's a big ask for him to be able to produce in that environment. And I think that Miami can get after him, cause a lot of chaos at the line of scrimmage, and just force a lot of mistakes from the quarterback. So I do think Stanford's going to try to run the ball. I think our defense, we've been averaging giving up less than 100 yards rushing a game, through the air, just under 200 yards a game. I do think that I think our defense will be able to be very efficient against this Stanford offense. I do think Stanford's going to try to run the ball, but honestly, we're the better line. I think if we allow our linebackers to be able to focus on stopping the run, we'll be able to do so. So I feel good about that side of the ball. I don't feel as good about our offense versus their defense. I'll tell you why. Stanford, they rank bottom of college football in most categories. The only category that they're pretty respectable in is their defensive line linebackers' ability to stop the run. They play very physical on the defensive line. Their linebackers play downhill. They can stop the run. They are going to try to stop Miami's run, and they are going to force Beck to throw the ball. It's the same playbook that FSU ran against us. It's the same playbook Louisville ran against us. It's going to come down to how does Carson Beck handle this? Can Carson Beck play smart? Smart is, okay, they're stopping our run. We're going to be able to throw the ball. Not forcing things deep, not forcing things over the top, hitting your check down. I know it looks enticing. You see Malachi Toney flying down the field. You think, I'm going to throw this ball up, make things happen. We saw Louisville's defensive backs hurt us that way. Now, Louisville has better DBs than Stanford, so I do think there will be an ability to take shots deep, but hit your check down. The middle of the field with Stanford's linebackers coming down, the middle of the field's going to be open. Hit the crossers. Like, let's play efficient. Let's make the smart pass and don't force it. We just need you to be a game manager, Carson Beck. Truly, this game and from here on out, it relies on Beck. It's on his shoulders. We've seen the playbook that teams are going to run against us, and can Carson Beck stop? Can Carson Beck still be good against that? And I mean, it depends which one we get. We get FSU Carson Beck, we're great. We get Louisville Carson Beck, we're done. Now, with that, I do think we still need to be able to run the ball. Just because teams are trying to stop the run doesn't mean we can't just take the running game completely out of the playbook. And I think we got to play more Marty Brown. I like Fletch. I don't think with what these teams are doing, I'm not sure if Jordan Lyle is the answer. Now, if we're going to start running a little more outside, and get that speed on the edge, then yeah, maybe Jordan Lyle's the guy that we want to do that to. But don't put Jordan Lyle in just to run the ball up the middle. If we're going to do that, give me Marty Brown. Overall, though, I do think our offense will be able to be efficient against this defense. I think this is going to be a good, and excuse my cat in the background, I think this is going to be a good opportunity for a bounce-back game for the offense. This is a big one. Like, I know everyone's looking ahead to SMU. This test is going to be big to see, can Carson Beck respond? Can he overcome what happened last week when really, it's harsh to say, but really he lost us that game. I mean, we only ended up losing by 3 points, and he threw 4 interceptions, including the game-losing one at the end when we were in field goal range. Like, where is he mentally? Is this a Tyler Van Dyke situation, a Ja'Cory Harris situation, where he has that one really bad game and it's over? I think both of them, it was against Virginia Tech, the TVD and Ja'Cory Harris. Or can he watch the film, be like, I was an idiot there, I forced that, and I know the quarterback that this team needs me to be. I've been that quarterback through the first quarter of the season. Let's go back to that. If we can do that, I think we roll in this game, and I feel very good about us moving forward. This is a game I am going to be scoreboard watching a little bit. I know it's important for us to just win each game. We're going to get teams best, so these aren't going to be blowouts, but I just want to be able to have a nice, decisive victory. The spread is 30.5. I don't even need us to cover that. 3 touchdowns. If we win by 3 touchdowns, I'll be happy, as long as we look the part. But this is going to be one of those games where I'm looking to see if we look the part. Yes, not as much scoreboard, but do we just look like the clearly superior team, and we're executing, we're playing clean, limit those penalties. This is that kind of get-right game against an ACC opponent, an opponent that they're now just trying to, it's David versus Goliath here, all right? They're just trying to be monster killers at this point in their season, and Miami is, if you can end Miami's season if you're Stanford. So we're going to be getting there all. I don't think we'll come out flat at all. I don't think we'll be looking ahead, because you can't. Got to win every single game. Let's see what else we have here. Just looking at my notes. Yeah, I think that's really, again, this is another Mario Cristobal quote, and I hate to say it's so lame, but he's big on play against yourself, like execute against yourself. And I really think that's what the rest of the season is going to be, but specifically this game. This is more about Miami. This is more about how can we go out and play Miami football regardless of the opponent we're up against? How can we execute? How can we just play clean? I mean, we've got one of the best offensive and defensive lines in the country, some of the best running backs in the country. We've got some of the best freshmen in the country now. We should have one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Everyone play their role. Everyone play smart. Go out there and dominate. All right? That's what we need to do. 1-0, baby. Beat Stanford. All right, real quick before we get out of here. How long have we been going here? 20 minutes? Oh, geez, too long. Hush, Dobby. Real quick before we get out of here. Yeah, like I said, ACC, I'm not even as concerned about it. I really just need to go 11-1. But right now, top of the ACC, you have 3 undefeated teams in the conference: Georgia Tech, Virginia, SMU. Problem is, we don't play Georgia Tech or Virginia. So we're going to need some help. It's insane to say that even with one loss, guys, excuse me here. Dobby's getting near the crock pot. Don't want him to get burned. Hang on. Pause. This will take 4 seconds. And we're back. He's just always getting into everything. Yeah, like I said, problem is we don't even play Georgia Tech or Virginia, so it's crazy that we could have one loss in the ACC and not make the ACC championship. I truly actually don't believe it'll end like that. There's too much chaos. These teams aren't good enough, I don't think, to just everyone run the table. So I do think if we win out, we get in, but regardless of that, we just need to win out to get into the playoff. So if we're looking around the league for this week, if we're doing a little hate watching, or if we're just trying to figure out who we need to win or lose, let me look at what's going on Saturday, some of the big games. UCLA at Indiana. It'd be cool if Indiana lost. I mean, any team in front of us, we're ranked number 9. Any team in front of us losing is only better for us. So go Bruins on that one. That one could be interesting. 25.5-point favorites, Indiana. It's a pretty big line. UCLA playing a little bit better. Cuse at Georgia Tech. Go Cuse. That would be nice. Georgia Tech 17.5-point favorites. I don't think Cuse has much of a shot in that game. Ole Miss, Oklahoma. I mean, this one's tough because Oklahoma, like, they're one of those teams where people are like, well, they should be better than they are. It kind of makes me sick. Oklahoma's 4.5-point favorites on this. I'd love both of these teams to lose. Like, these are two classic teams that their good losses count better than their wins. And it's just the SEC bias we got to deal with there. Virginia at North Carolina. Oh, didn't think I'd say it, but I need North Carolina to win that game. Virginia's 10.5-point favorites. It'll be interesting to see how much North Carolina is completely checked out in the season, or can they give us a little bit of an upset there? That would be sweet. USF at Memphis. We need USF to keep on winning, baby. USF beat Memphis. Going down the list here, SMU at Wake. Ooh, who do we want to win that? I think we want SMU to win that game because, and I'm being selfish here, I need that game to be a night kickoff next week against SMU so I can watch it. So I need SMU to win that game. Kansas State at Kansas. Kansas State, please win. We go down the list. Oh, we go down the list. Some decent games. Bama at South Carolina. Bama, another team I would love to see lose again because everyone seems to forget about their loss to Florida State. So go Cox. Am I right? Mizzou at Vandy. Vandy, I hope Vandy crushes them. Missouri, another team that is so overrated. What are we doing? BYU at Iowa State. I don't care. Illinois, Washington. Don't care. Here we go. We go down the list. We go down the list. We are almost to the end of the list. Texas at Mississippi State. Go Mississippi State. I can't believe Texas is still ranked. Wisconsin at Oregon. Ooh, Wisconsin's so bad. I think Oregon rolls them, but that would be sweet to see Oregon lose. Texas A&M at LSU. I know Texas A&M is ranked ahead of us. I would like to see Texas A&M win this game. LSU, another team that's so overrated. This is the team that people are like, well, if they they should be good. Like, what do we look at? Should we look at how much of a potential a team has or what they've done on the field? I think what they've done on the field. Okay, Texas A&M, hope they blast them. And then Boston College at Louisville. Yeah, we need Louisville to lose again. So, but Boston College stinks this year. Could be the end of all that over there. Michigan at Michigan State. Michigan's still ranked 25. I don't know, whatever. And then Tennessee at Kentucky. I mean, it is crazy how many SEC teams are ranked. Like, and then they're like, oh, then at the end of the season, they say how many ranked wins they had. It's like, yeah, because you're all ranked. And it's almost impossible for you to drop out of the top 25. Utterly insane. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, as far as the watching goes. We just need chaos because it's just awesome. But at the end of the day, all Miami has to do is win out, and we're in. All right? It starts this weekend, 7 o'clock, ESPN. The Stanford Cardinal. Not Cardinals, just Cardinal, the color. And their mascot is a tree. And I believe they say they play on the farm. A lot going on there. I have no idea. But they come to the Rock. And, yeah, big one, guys. Stop looking ahead. Let's go out there. Let's dominate. Let's go back to playing Miami Hurricanes football. Hope everyone has a great rest of their week. Have a great weekend. Forget Louisville. We put it behind us. Don't let the media pundits get to you. Let's just keep our head down. Long season left. A lot of football left. A lot can happen. I still feel very confident about this team moving forward. All right? Have a great weekend. Enjoy fall wherever you're at. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the festivities. I got my Halloween shirt on now. Michael Myers action. I'm feeling good. All right? I'm very excited for this dumpling soup tonight. And I hope to be coming